Hello everybody. I'm back here vlogging again, still trying to catch up with so much that I want to say. I'm afraid it would just be so delayed if I wrote it all out instead of just talking through it with you. So I'm just going to keep doing this. I figure there will come a day, knock on wood, that it is a long time from now that it will be more difficult for me to write. So I still want to keep in touch with everyone, and this seems to be a great way to do it. So, first of all, I'll point out something that well, it's definitely sticking out like a sore thumb to me. You may have noticed that I am missing a tooth. Yesterday, I left it on my lunch tray. I know it sounds like I'm 11 years old. I was so grateful to a friend of mine who made it for me, and I am so sorry that I was not very attentive, irresponsible, left my tooth on my lunch tray, and I am certain it is now in the landfill. So you'll just have to get used to me like this. See, when I smile, maybe I just need to smile more and talk less because it doesn't show up as much when I do that. Okay, so few things I want to talk to you about. I talked a lot about my ears last time I vlogged, and they are continuing to get worse. Can't even hear the microwave anymore. Uh, but still looking at possible hearing aids. Uh, a few options. The first option I looked at was too expensive and insurance wouldn't cover it. They sent me to another location where they might be more reasonable. In the meantime, I had another person offer to give me their hearing aids. They are a few years old, but not used much more than a year, and still seem to be a pretty um, recent technology. I'll be getting those in the mail hopefully tomorrow and taking them to the ENT to see if they can reprogram them to match my needs. I may also have to buy some parts like the tube that goes, let's go over here, the tube that goes from here into the ear if I'm not the exact same size or something. I may have to do some things like that, but definitely small purchases compared to having to buy hearing aids, and I'm hopeful that it works out and I can hear again because I just remember how wonderful that was when she put that testing hearing aid on me and how much better I could hear. Um, let's see, I want to talk about my last chemo treatment. Last week I had sent out an update before the treatment. I posted a picture on my Facebook of me wearing my shirt that says "Not Today, Satan," and I was all pumped up, ready to go to infusion. Infusion wasn't too bad. The worst part is just going down there and coming back in the same day. It takes so much out of me because it takes 3 hours to get down there. It took 3.5 to get back because of the rain. Um, they're never running on time. Not Vanderbilt's problem. Unfortunately, there's just too many people with cancer out there, and there's not enough time in the day, and it just gets backed up and backed up and backed up. And so it was a very long day before we got home. Um, one thing there was one new thing to my treatment that I want to show you about, and then I'll end this particular vlog with this and start a new one. That way, when you're listening, you don't have to overcommit to watching something for 30 to 40 minutes. You'll just watch a whole bunch of 15-20 minute videos. I got Neulasta last time. Neulasta is a medication that promotes your bone marrow to produce more white blood cells. And I needed to do this because I was always on the edge of not meeting the criteria to be healthy enough for chemo. And if you'll recall, a few weeks back, I even had to get a shot of something and wait another day, and luckily I was able to get chemo. So we're going to stay ahead of it this time. So after I have chemo, I will get a shot of Neulasta. Neulasta is a very expensive medicine, and unfortunately, it can't be given right whenever I'm there. It has to come 24 to 27 hours after chemo, and I'm not driving back down to Nashville to get it. Um, Whenever I got it my first bout with cancer in 2012, they let me take home a syringe with Neulasta in it, and Jeff gave me shots in my belly. This time, they don't send them home for you. There's been advances, believe it or not, in the last 5 years, and that now they give you this. I think that I'm going to make sure it's not upside down. So this right here is a contraption that holds the Neulasta medicine. You can see right here that it has a empty and fill line. I kept it so I could show it to you. This one's empty now. The nurse fills it off from this side. I actually think down in this area she fills it. And then it is taped to me. About 3 minutes after it's taped to me, I feel like a rubber band flip on my skin. That's actually a needle coming out of this, puncturing a hole in my belly or arm, wherever I choose to put it, and then leaving like a little catheter in my skin. I'll show you the catheter. Let's see. I'm going to put it up against my... There, can you see the blue? Maybe if I put it up here. It's so hard to do everything backwards. Do you see the blue thing sticking out? There we go. It is flexible, so I can move when it's stuck to me. This is all adhesive back here, so it stays place. And this little catheter stays in my skin, and a timer starts, and a little light starts flashing. The timer is counting down 27 hours. When it gets close to 27 hours, there's a beep that comes from this, and then a long tone. And then just to make sure you're laying down and comfortable and you're not going to move for a while. And then the medicine begins to come out of the catheter into my skin. That catheter is really hard to see, but I think you can. There we go. Just need to get it closer to you. It comes out into my skin. It takes 45 minutes for the medicine to come out of that catheter and absorb into my skin. So I basically just relax and let it come out. This little buddy here costs about $6,000 per injection. This goes in the trash now. I only kept it so I could show it to you guys. In the trash. And I'll get another one next time. That, my friends, is why insurance is so expensive. I wish they would just send me home with medicine and a needle and have Jeff stick it in my stomach all of 3 seconds versus wearing that thing for a day and costing $6,000 for it to release over 45 minutes. It's crazy. Neulasta has an effect of, like I said, making your bone marrow produce more white blood cells. And when you make your bone marrow work harder, you hurt. I remembered this from before, and so I was very nervous about it. Fortunately, the pain was not as bad as I remembered. I had some achiness in my arm, my wrist. Feels like arthritis, but it was not an all-over body pain like I had remembered. So hopefully that stays true as long as I'm taking it. So that should do for this entry, all about the ears, where it's going with the ears right now, and about my last treatment. And I will start a new video for the other subjects I want to cover. Thank you.